Hello and welcome to the Scrunchable Cadaver Scrub League Tournament. I'm one of your hosts, Ant-Man, and joining me, as always, is Mr. Tilt.
Hello, it's me again. This is completely different time to the last game that we recorded, I promise.
We haven't just, grabbed some alcohol and continued recording. So, today, yes, we see, if I pull up the tournament table very quickly, we can see today we have a humdinger with Mr. Mohan, with AlteredEgo progressing through the losers bracket. He's Noble Diver, and now he goes on to play Fear, another Protoss. Slightly more in practice, in form Protoss, would suggest from the previous games and from Mr. Tilt here, who knows him in real life in RL, yo. So, possibly more in practice. Possibly a bit more competent at the moment, so it may be a bit more of a hard-fought battle, and the winner of this will go through to play Mabad South in the semi-final of the losers bracket. So, I think we may have a good one on our hands. I hope so, anyway.
It should be an interesting one, especially with the first map choice, which I personally, I mean, it's World Ship, isn't it? And I hate that. It's got those stupid destructible rocks at the back of your base. Who wants that there in your base?
Zerg wants that in the base. That's what they
No,
want.
they don't. Well, that's the problem. You play against a Zerg and you're on World Ship, then you're just sitting there waiting for the back doors to be taken down, and it's whether or not you're actually paying attention to it. Because even if you've got a pylon there or a supply depot, you just don't notice it half the time.
I say it is a bit of a unique situation as well, in that the sort of backdoor into your base is actually on the higher ground as well, so it could be at a major disadvantage in your own bloody base because you're on the lower ground.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And I would suggest that that's going to be a massive advantage for Zerg, because obviously Zerg can get out of the Zerglings and move over to that side of the map straight away and punish anyone. Which is
well, that's it. I mean, you could also be looking at possibly stalker play. If there's an observer over here, they can sort of get in. They can jump in anyway, get over to the base, cause a bit of havoc, and then they can get away and jump straight back out and be entirely safe behind the destructible rocks. So it can work both ways, possibly.
Yeah, but then you got the overlords, which are flying supply depots, and they can just sit there and look and see where the enemy army is coming from. So they can always going to have vision from the very start of the high ground. Which again, I think this is just a biased map towards Zerg, but that's my opinion.
Possibly. I mean, I reckon we should get this one on the go, just because then we can do our chit chat while nothing's happening at the start of the game. So, if you're ready, Mr. Tilt, if you would hit the play button in 3, 2, 1, click.
And they're off.
Cool. So, up in the top right we have AlteredEgo, as he's gone for a different colour. He's now the nice pink or fuchsia Zerg, and down in the southwest corner we've got the purple-headed threat that is Fear.
Yeah, they've both gone for a very similar colour, which could get a bit confusing, minimap wise anyway.
I was listening the other day while nothing's happening at the moment. It was like I was watching a stream of it was In Control, I think. But no, they were saying it was at a tournament last weekend. But they were saying in the sort of very top game, Zerg are slightly favoured over Terran at the moment. They're sort of, just with the recent updates, they're sort of currently on top, and they are slightly favoured apparently.
OP Queens, that's the thing, they've given them a massive
the range
buff.
5, yeah, the range 5 Queens are saying that because with Terran, a sort of favourite tactic with the early expanding Zerg, as Zerg are want to do, they like to expand nice and quickly to the natural.
Yeah.
A Terran who wants to capitalise on that could sort of build a Reaper or a few Marines and come up and get an SCV to build a bunker right outside
bunker rush,
base,
yeah.
and then just get a bunker or two, a few Marines, and then just really put pressure on this early expansion, sort of punishing the Zerg for being greedy and getting the base down nice and quick. However, in the last set of updates, the Queens have now increased range. They've now got 5 range on them, which means they can easily, or more easily rather,
outrange the enemy units, which is basically like having long range artillery at the start of the game. I think it's silly. I think they should be on 4 range.
I've seen it in sort of like recent tournaments with I'm gonna sound like a right idiot now. Who was it now? Oh, knackers! I was watching the game last night, but high level Terran player, likes his cheeses. He was playing against
Rain King, maybe?
No. It was knackers. I'm gonna seem I am a right idiot. I know that. But sort of for 3 games in a row, he tried the sort of bunker rush on the fast expanding Zerg, and he was held back on 2 of the 3 occasions by the Queens. He had a couple of Queens, and the drones held back like the 2 bunkers and the 8 Marines that were coming in from the other player.
Yeah, just because of that extra range makes them much safer to look after. What was interesting there, actually, I just noticed that Fear sent out its scout, over to Ego's base and sent it back, and then there was another scout, or not a scout. He's moving around to the back of the. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's now covering.
Safeguarding, yeah, so he doesn't destroy the destructible rocks, but he's just he's getting a pylon there to see if anything comes in. That's
right. Yeah, it's a good move. I just thought it was very strange watching two of his own probes sort of running straight into each other. But anywho, we've now got. Ego's got a drone sitting at the back of Fear's expansion to see if there's anything going on, and also there's an Overlord flying straight over.
That's it. So if we compare and contrast from the last game with Divern, you can see now at Fear, as a sort of straight up comparison, has only gone for one gas, but he hasn't gone for the Cybercore. He's now getting 2 gateways straight away, and he's producing off them as well, chronoing out some zealots as well. So I mean, it's a sort of like, it's a less tech intensive, a less sort of like currency intensive build. He's now getting the Cybercore, but it means that he's going to have a lot more units, like fighting units, available to him, and even the money is looking high-ish. I mean, if he saved for about 20 seconds, he could expand as well.
That's right. And of course, Ego's sending out his Zerglings to have a look at the Xel'Nagas again. He does like his map vision, and actually, Fear's just gone and completely walled in the expansion. Well, I say the expansion, the back rocks area. I think he's actually going to go for an expansion there, which
expand up there.
Yeah, good move. However, can Ego see it with the? Yeah, he can. He can see a gateway being warped in down there, so he knows something's going on.
No, he's going to have a look at that. Yes, there we go. If we look now towards the top, he is moving those Zerglings in. He's an inquisitive little bugger, is AlteredEgo.
That's right. It's a real shame, actually, because unfortunately, Fear has put a lot of money into setting that wall in off, and it's not fully sort of walled off either.
That's it. I mean, the only saving grace, I suppose, is that AlteredEgo is now coming down to look for the base, which hadn't started production yet, so won't lose any money on that. But unfortunately, the forge and that pylon are going to go down. Not supply capital, but instead he's still got a lot of money, but he's now got to find something to do with that money, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's going to have to push out for a natural expansion rather than the unnatural backdoor rocks area. And of course, what happens?
Double expand from AlteredEgo. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. So he's now done the exact same thing. He's taken his own back rocks area. So I suppose it's a good move, actually.
Yeah, and he is eating those back rocks. But as soon as this probe goes down, he wouldn't have the upper ground vision. He will hear the rocks being eaten away now, though.
And he's got vision of it because of the pylon that's been put down. So
pylons don't have high ground vision. They would have just
no, but you can see the health.
Vision of the rocks being eaten. Yeah.
If you've got the health bars on all the time, which I do.
Do you? What's that? The V key, I believe. I never do.
Is it V? I don't think so. It's one in the game settings. You have a look at the health bars on all the time.
I know it's in World of Warcraft. It's V anyway.
Oh right, okay. I wouldn't know. I don't play rubbish games. Controversial.
No. Oh really? Wow. I don't know. Are 9 million people wrong?
Probably. Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. I'll say more than that. Watch the feckin' X Factor. But that's a question for
oh dear,
conversation point about for another day. Britain's Got Talent.
No, we don't. We don't have talent, and certainly the people watching the programs don't have talent.
Well, I mean, the people on the program rarely do.
Sorry?
The people even on the program rarely do. I mean, what does it say about Britain when a fucking dog wins it this year?
Did it? I ignore it so much that I just don't.
I only heard from, I've never even seen the dog. I don't know, it might be a real crowd puller, I don't know. The Queen likes dogs anyway, so that'd be she'll like it.
Yeah, I suppose it's...
She's had a bumper year, she's got the Jubilee and she gets to see a dog doing tricks.
Is it like Benny the dog that does backflips?
I think so, yeah.
It does backflips.
Oh, what, like the little... Oh yeah, like the little yipping dog, they yip, yip,
yeah,
and then just doing...
Backflip over and over and over again, yeah. Actually, I don't think it was Benny the dog. Benny the dog was actually from a film with Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz. But anyway, we've actually got Void Rays out, which we probably should have mentioned earlier on. But yeah, he's currently building up Void Rays in the back of his base.
I'm entirely foxed. I'm trying to think of that film now. It was... that's going to bug me, until I find that out. Anyway, the Zerglings do break through. It's the one with the extension and the weird face mask.
Yep.
Vanilla Sky.
Vanilla Sky, yep. Fantastic film as well. I actually really like that.
Yeah. So at the moment, Fear has been attacked by a two-pronged attack. He's just tidied up in his now natural expansion, the attack. But now he hasn't quite well dealt with the one in back of his main base. He's now got a warp into 3 zealots, which will deal with this.
Yeah.
And that's it. He's pulling the rest of his forces up there. He should be fine now. But,
Yep, that's stopped the back rocks attack. He has actually got an expansion on the go, but the thing is, Ego is now on 3 bases, and he has been for a little
I
while.
see the
which
money
is
that he's got coming in. He's sat on a grand. Not a lot of
yeah,
gas though.
yeah.
Hasn't really gone for any. He's gone for the 2 gas in his main base, but he hasn't done. Oh, no, he's only gone for 1 gas in his main base, and that is it. So he is looking at very much just a Zergling heavy army, just all minerals, no gas, no upgrades, just trying to overwhelm and have entire sort of dominance just over
That's
the
right.
map. Whereas if you even sort of like look at the map currently, just the map vision, you can see all of his units. The creep spread is poor at the moment, but the
He's got units everywhere. He's
yeah.
actually got 2 queens, making a very long wander over to his 3rd, which is probably a misclick, I'd say, as you usually want to have them next to your hatcheries. But yeah, got a load of slow roaches moving across the map now, and I don't know. I mean, Fear's gone and walled in again at these back rocks, but is he going to be able to hold that many
This
roaches?
is always going to be an issue now. These rocks sort of not being there, it's always going to be a sort of threat. You're always going to have to try and keep an eye on it. But no,
Walling in is always a good idea, but the thing is, it's whether or not you can actually take the damage and have the range to shoot over the wall. And actually, he's changed his Ego's changed his mind, and it's actually coming straight to his front base.
that's it. Yeah, the zealots will be taken out eventually, but they've done a wee bit of damage. They've taken a few roaches off there, but he's got some money. But if he doesn't react quickly, the space will go down. Oh, there we go. The void rays come out.
3 void rays. Yeah, the only thing is, I don't think he wanted to reveal them this early.
No, certainly not.
I mean, void rays are fantastic, especially against roaches, but whether or not he's actually going to be able to do enough, that's a bit of weird micro there. Get the roaches on low health and don't kill them. Now the Zerglings walk straight into the base. Horrible situation.
That's a perfect sort of counter to the void rays, just because they take so long to kill each individual unit. They'll just take far too long to do anything. So at the moment, it's not looking terribly great for Fear. His natural expansion is down. The roaches that took it down are still alive. The Zergling are attacking his already disabled warp gates. He has more in the base. He has another void ray, but he hasn't got a huge amount. And he's trying to eat into the reinforcements. I know he's A-clicking somewhere else, but not a lot is going to be able to be done with this. He's AlteredEgo's already prepared, and he's got spore crawlers. He's bringing his units back, it seems. But I mean,
That's a bit of a strange decision. I would have just walked straight at the front, because it's clearly Fear wants to go for a base race here, because he's going straight for that spine crawler. A little bit of micro here, and he might be able to save. He's losing health on his void rays, and that's the last thing you want to do in a base race.
That's it. They will be crucial, just because yeah, he can buy spore crawlers, but yeah, he needs to keep them up. Anyway, in the main base though, extreme damage is being wrought on the last remaining probes in there. It's not going to continue on for too much longer after just this game, just because he's got no mining bases left.
That's right, and honestly, Fear hasn't got enough units to take down enough things in the base. I mean, for sheer quantity of units, AlteredEgo is going to absolutely rip apart.
But there we go. Those void rays have now got their sort of the higher power beams on them as well.
Level 3 beams.
But they don't want to be trying to take on spore crawlers like that, because otherwise, they would just be destroyed, and that would be the end of the game.
Oh, it's a real shame, because a bit of micro there, and he could have saved all of them without even losing any health.
Yep.
Yes, I think he's seen the writings on the wall, because his main base is completely gone.
Yeah, nothing left. He's got a forge and a cannon, and he's tried to expand up. Wow, it's not going to happen. It's got roach right next to it.
It's all over. Yeah, there's no way of.
He's just doing that to sort of like keep the building, I believe, just to sort of keep himself so he's not revealed.
That's right. So we've now got a void ray moving up to the entrance of his base. I don't know what he's planning on doing here. I really don't. It's over.
Yeah.
There is no possible way of him coming back. I mean, I don't think he knows that that Ego has a second expansion. But yes, this is just unfortunately dragging out now. There we go. There's a GG.
Yeah, he's called it. So yes, a bit unfortunate. Let's see, it started going wrong really. Fear was unfortunate in that the sort of his own sort of preparedness, his own sort of trying to protect his back door, as it were, was spotted by the Zalnaga, which was populated by just one Zergling, and then that gave him the information that he could go and sack, he could go and sort of eat 400 minerals and sort of entirely wreck all the expansion plans of Fear, which really he never really did get going again after that. He sort of got a second base far delayed, and he had loads of minerals but didn't have the production facilities, so he just didn't get moving again after that unfortunate discovery, which really does get to show, I mean, the cost of a Zergling is nothing compared with the information it gave him of the base that was coming up there.
That's right, and I mean the thing I'd always say, if you're going to go for an early Void Ray build, you want to get the first Void Ray out there as soon as possible. You don't want to sit there and wait until you've got 3, because by that point it's sort of, you know, enough queens can take it all down and it's easier to react to. Whereas if you send one out there, it puts the frighteners on the Zerg and forces him to build units, which is, you know, a good harassment technique, but it's certainly not a game winner, and I think that's what he was banking on.
Well, that was it. I think that was reactionary anyway with the Void Rays. By the time the Void Rays came out, I don't think he was planning Void Rays from the start. It just happened that way when he thought, well, I've got a load of spare money now because I haven't expanded. I've got to expand, but I've got to spend the money. Let's sort of try and tech up and let's try and get some more units out. Let's try and go air, just to try and sort of recover from the deficit he was put in by not being on bases. Try and, well, not a cheap tactic, but try and go for a left field tactic just to try and upset things, to try and settle the sort of deficit it was under. Anyhow, though, as it stands at the moment, Fear is 1 game down. So it's his map choice, and he has picked. Why do I always say the map choice when I don't even know what it is?
The next map is called Zelnaga Caverns.
Ah, of course. Protoss like a bit of Zelnaga, I believe, but then again, so does Zerg.
Yeah, this is a very old school map. I can't remember why they removed it from the. I think it's because it was too close and it was too advantageous for Zerg. Possibly, I'm not 100% sure on that. There's still a fair bit of high ground. I mean, again, at our level, it doesn't really matter because we're not going to be able to exploit it the same way that someone like Marine King can.
That's a gust of wind could change our playstyles and mess us up. But I mean, there's no sort of like 50% win rate per map as it is with the pros sort of thing. So no, anything could change us. But yeah, so hopefully though, it's what you've got the sort of confidence for, really, isn't it? What you've got if you feel that, oh, I fancy a bit of Zelnaga now, then that's it. It can really sort of play into your favour if you sort of know the map and you fancy it, and yeah, you're on a bit of a higher play slightly differently.
I've been trying to get it working into my choices more recently as well, because I can remember the sheer quantity of games I used to play on Zelnaga when I was younger. Well, I suppose I would have been younger, but you know, when StarCraft 2 came out. This was obviously on the first map rotation that they ever had, and I used to hammer it.
I mean, Shakura's Plateau, and what else was it? Was it Entombed Valley? I used to play a whole lot of that as well. That was
there was Steps of War was one of them. That was really bad.
Scrap Station, the one that was shaped like a giant dog.
The one with a little U shape on it, or V
That's
shape.
Right.
Yeah.
I quite like that one myself. Anyhow, if you're ready to jump in the game...
I'm in the game and ready to go.
Cool, if we click play in 3, 2, 1, click. Cool. So, you can introduce this one if you want, mate.
Yep, sure. Okay, so in the top right we've got the pink Zerg of AlteredEgo, and who's unfortunately gone and ran all of his Zerglings not onto the minerals, and there we go, he's now back on it. So yes, we've got the AlteredEgo in the top right hand corner, it's pink, and in the bottom left we have the purple Protoss of Fear, who seems to have had a better start than Ego.
It happens. I mean, it was it's I think Shatner's Bassoon every single game sort of like clicked all his SCVs into the command center at the start of every game he had.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know how he managed that. It's pretty impressive, that one. Although I think it might have turned into a little sort of trademark for him by the end of the tournament.
I used to do the same thing on what was it, on bloody Sonic 2. You know, he had like the ring thing, like the tunnels with all the rings, like the bonus stage.
Oh yeah.
It was my thing that I'd always do, like I'd always be Sonic, and I'd always just do one clockwise circle right at the start, and it sort of became like superstition where I couldn't do it.
Unless you do that, yeah.
I'd have to do it every time.
That's sometimes when I play first-person shooters, I sometimes wobble the mouse around in a circle over and over again for no reason.
Like warm your hand up.
Exactly, yeah. I just make sure I've got my aiming on the go, which that's with first-person shooters go. This is more obviously a lot more.
But then,
a lot more thought about it.
Well, no, not really, because then, tying it back to StarCraft, you see the pros in sort of at this point in the game where not a lot's happening, they will actually be tapping and selecting units and clicking around and doing all that sort of business now, won't they? And sort of clicking around and hitting all the keys. Just to,
yeah. warm up their hands and make sure they keep their macro up and APM up throughout the entire game.
Do you think that's it? Is that like the average APM per game they want to keep up? Do you reckon?
I don't think it's just to spam APM for the sake of it. I think it's just so that, you know, the start of the game and the end of the game, they've got the same sort of APM, so they don't have to slowly build into it their APM. Because, I mean, I've noticed it one or two times when I've gone into a game and, you know, my hand's sort of cold and I'm just clicking, you know, right-click on the minerals and then build SCV, so you're just pressing S every now and then. When you actually get up to the fights, by that point you're suddenly frantically moving around. It's better to actually have the speed already in your hands and, you know, in your mindset than to not. But I mean, again, it's APM spam.
I don't know. I'm quite a keen lover of sort of like music when I'm playing. I sort of find if it's like Chemical Brothers, something fast and upbeat, I'll have a much higher APM and I'll play a lot better when I've got like the Chemical Brothers, just because it's like the sort of the constant rhythm in your head. It sort of reminds you to build SCVs as well. Just it sort of keeps you timed well. And
that's why it's the computer game version of tapping your feet.
That's it. It gets your adrenaline going a wee bit, and it just gets you moving a bit. And I found, because I did way back when, ages ago, for like MLG, I did not the MLG, but for like Midlife Gamer, I did like a month-long project in StarCraft 2, which is how I started playing it. In fact, I sort of did it on a whim after playing the single player, and I thought, oh fuck it.
My Macro, I believe it was called.
That's it.
Micro or something like that.
Yeah. But I thought I'd dedicate a whole month to playing StarCraft, and it was yeah, from that I tried everything, like music, I tried like getting online coaching, like reading a wiki page and all that. But
yeah. By the way, going back to the game here, I think Fear's actually going all in here, because he's sending constant streams and streams of
Zealots. That's it there.
Up to the base, yeah, and obviously Ego hasn't actually even got an expansion up yet, so this is interesting.
Yeah, it's trying to keep him penned in. I mean, in the last game, he was, unfortunately his expansion was found, but if he A-clicks it now, I mean, he's currently waypointed, but he should be able to deal with both of these.
Yeah, this is good. He's actually forcing Ego to just go pure production into Zerglings rather than dragons. Yeah.
So he's now got 2 up. He needs to get them close to a wall, like backs to the wall, because otherwise they're going to get surrounded and taken down like 3 times as fast as if their backs were to the wall, especially with the numbers that are going to be coming at him. But no, he has certainly forced a reaction. I mean, yeah, he's just going pure Zergling instead of building drones, and he's now building spine crawlers as well, and getting that second gas to try and sort of like fund that. But no,
he's lifting a spine crawler up and pushing it to the front. I think what looks like is Fear's not trying to win the game here. He's actually just trying to keep him sort of on a soft contain, so he can expand. The only thing is he's missing the expansion bit, which is a shame.
And he's supply blocked for the second as well. Yeah.
And also, Ego's got an extractor sitting in his base. I didn't actually notice that.
That's okay. That's not bad. He's not really seeing anything. He hasn't actually put any sort of tech buildings, any buildings around the extractor.
No, that's right.
It's going to be minimal, but it's as you say, just a soft contain. He's just with his spare money every click. He's buying another zealot and sending it up to the base. So I mean, zealots kind of take care of themselves, especially against Zerg, just because if they have their backs to the wall, or if they're even in hold position, they're a fairly cheap unit, and they will deal with pretty much all the low tier tech, the low tier Zerg units. Because I mean, although they can't like hit up, but I mean that's not really going to be an issue. So that's good though. It's kept him on one base. He really should be looking at getting another base now. He's now on like damn near 800 minerals.
Yeah, actually, Ego just got himself up a baneling nest, which is going to counter this absolutely perfectly. Is he? How many is he going to build? I think he's saving up his gas at the moment, so he can. I imagine he's just going to roll out and then expand straight away. It's a real shame that Fear hasn't expanded yet, though.
That's it. I mean, well, I don't know. If he were investing all that money, fortunately he's supply blocked again. He's building 2 pylons just to try and not be in that situation. But yeah, he needs to be doing something with that money. If he was spending all that money, then he would ultimately have a stronger force than a Zerg force in one base. But the Banelings come down the ramp now, and they come out to meet the Zealots.
Yeah, and this is going to end badly. That's that's pretty horrible to watch.
It's still gone. Just a green splat left on the ground, and that's it.
And there's one Zealot left, and okay, so that's the end of the soft contain. But he's only just getting up his expansion now, which is It's a shame. If he got that up earlier, then
especially with the timing of these Zerglings coming in now, because they will eat away those shields and they will actually take that down. So he may even just he's forced to cancel already. But now he hasn't really got a lot back at his base really either to show for it. He hasn't got a huge amount, so it does seem strange that he's got like sat on 800 minerals.
I think it's a build that he hasn't tried before. A lot like the same way that I went into a pure mech build against Adve. You sort of miss things, and you haven't really got the fixed routine or the comfort zone sort of thing. He's taken himself out of the comfort zone, and he doesn't know what to do now.
I'd certainly
building enough units.
Yeah, I'd certainly like to see at least a couple more gates. I know he's researching warp gates at the moment, but that's not going to be done for another minute or so. But that's it. He just needs to have more and more units down. He feels himself under the cosh, so he's getting 4 cannons on the front, which will hold for a very short while.
Ego's going for another Baneling Bust here, and it's going to work, I think. It's walking straight up there. Yes, just came in the right place then.
So the cannons will come up, but he's put himself in this position. He's like put himself under this pressure when he didn't need. Well, he needn't have really.
He's now sort of contained in his own base while Ego's got an expansion up. So
that's what I mean. He did this to himself. I'm not saying in a mean way, but I mean he sort of self-imposed this. He sort of blocked himself at the top of his ramp, and he didn't expand, and he still is sat on a fair amount of money as well.
Yeah, he's
not even producing at the moment. He's producing no sort of outfield units. He's getting the Twilight Council now. But
I think he's going to go for Blink, but again, he's only got 3.
He needs meat and potatoes. He needs the forces down. Otherwise, like another Baneling hit, which will be coming from Ego because he does like him quite soon. And that will be it. Then he's going to have the rest of the Zerglings run around his base, eating all his shit.
Yeah. It's a shame. I mean, I certainly wouldn't go for a Blink Stalker build not on one base. You need to have at least 2 bases for that, just to cover the sheer amount that you have to sort of pump out the sheer amount of Stalkers that you need to build. And he's only got 3 gateways at the moment as well. He's actually really behind. It's a real shame.
Now, they've just turned into warp gates. The research has finished, but still, there we go. 3 zealots producing off it, but he needs more.
Yeah, he needs more warp gates. He's getting Dark Shrine now, so he didn't go for Blink Stalkers. He's gone for Dark Shrine. So I think he's trying cheese followed by cheese, which is a common sort of occurrence in 2v2 matches, I've noticed.
That's what I say about Protoss. If you're behind, get DTs. And, if you're ahead, go TTs.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Just a bit of harass. So now Fizz moving out again with 1 Zealot. Probably just have a quick look at see if the expansion is out.
Yeah. Just to deny a bit of vision as well from the Zerg, I imagine. Oh no, he's just going to have a quick poke around. But
Ego's actually getting a Nidus network, and also he has an Overlord sitting in the back of Fear's base. So I can see where this is going.
and the Spy for the follow-up as well. But yes,
that's all manner of cheese.
No, not really. I mean, because he could.
I think Nidus networks is cheesy, mostly because I never see them coming, which is really irritating.
Well, it is, and where they can click one button. I don't know. I guess I'm just jealous because with one button click, they can sort of bring an entire army to the back of your base. I can't do that as a Terran.
No, exactly. You've got Medivacs maybe, but the thing is, I can counter that with well-placed Overlords. So
with an air, a bit of anti-air, a Spore Crawler.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we've just had a Dark Templar warp in, and there's 3 of them moving up to the front of Ego's base. Little run by of Zerglings. Not going to do much there.
No, that's all good. I mean, is it going to see anything? He hasn't got any Overlords. It's not Overlords. I mean, sorry, Overseers that can sort of detect it. He has no Spore Crawlers either, which would detect. So at the moment, these are going to come in and eat away. Unfortunately, though, they have revealed themselves. He has A-clicked one of them, and it's taken down some Zerglings. So in very short order, we'll see Spore Crawlers coming up. So a bit of a miss micro there. It is a bit unfortunate because now he's preemptively pulled all the drones.
Yep, he knows exactly what's coming.
So that's it. Now he's that sort of the element of surprise is gone. And instead, just 3 of them. See how quick they will take down that base, though.
They've got weapons upgrades, level 1 at the moment, and unfortunately, I think the Stalkers were ahead of his main army there that were pushing up, which is a good idea, obviously, to attack with both armies at the same time to put a bit of pressure on him. But
down at the base of Fear, the Baneling Bust at the front door is not particularly successful. They take out reinforcements, but the cannons save him, so maybe they were a good idea.
Yeah. I'm sort of confused as to why there's a I think he thought that Ego had another base up because he sent
Mm.
all three of his.
It's DTs to the third, yes.
That's right, yeah. So anyway, he's taken down Ego's expansion, which is always a good thing.
Back down to one base, and he has expanded himself, which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, at the moment we just have Zerglings being produced. I know AlteredEgo has the Muters out again, and
They're going to be a problem.
no Stalkers out at the moment. Yeah.
So I mean, one of the things he should have done actually is pushed up the DTs into Ego's main, just to A, get a scout off, and B, see if he can get a few drones out of it.
Unfortunately, I know that would have been seen already. The Overseer was already above those spine crawlers going up into his main. They would have been nobbled as soon as they'd gone up. But no, this is yeah, a very dire situation for Fear unless he gets something sorted quickly.
And Nidus Network is about to appear in the back of his base.
I heard it. There it is. Yeah. That's the sound I hate the most.
Oh yeah, because by that point it's already too late. That's the time I only ever hear it as well. So
come in with the muties as well, I imagine, quite
yeah,
soon.
just sort of kicking in the nuts at the end of it. Oh yeah, he's taking out the Dark Shrine and as many of these units as he can. The thing is, Fear hasn't got anything here to really counter this. He's got some Zealots, but he needs some Stalkers to back them up. And yeah, he could end up losing his Dark Shrine here.
I think he could end up losing more than that.
I think he might end up losing the game actually, because he's lost. I think is that all of his? It's almost all of his. Yeah, all of his probes, and Fear has left the game.
Yes. No GG, no skill.
No GG. Well,
how many player? He must have sensed the muters out in the field somewhere. He must have sensed them, and then
it's the Nidus Network alone. It just completely tore him apart. And I think this was entirely down to just not getting the expansion up when he had the soft contain on Ego near the start.
Well, that's it. As we said, he had his own self-imposed turtling up in his own main base. Because he did have the advantage, he was probably right that he didn't actually sort of push into the main base because the spine crawlers would have taken him down. However, he didn't really capitalise on it, and we saw him even in very early games sat on 800 minerals, which could have thrown down
expanded whenever he wanted. Yeah,
either expanded or he could have gone either way. Either expand and go for the long economical game. He had the forge, so he could have got photon cannons down in the back of the mineral line for protection. Could have either done that or thrown down 3 more gates, just shitloads of zealots. Just building 6 zealots at a time, he would have had him that way. And that's the thing, he could have gone either way, but unfortunately he went neither way and ended up just getting overwhelmed in the end, just because he didn't have an attack plan. He didn't sort of stick to his guns or really do anything. All sort of up until the end of the game, he was still fairly lost, it seemed. He didn't really know which way to go. He got the DTs out, which were good, but then he didn't really capitalise it. So he certainly did a good job on keeping AlteredEgo down on one base.
He did, but he kept himself down on one base as well, and that's a real shame. He also dumped quite a few minerals at the end of that into photon cannons. I think he was actually building them as the Nidus Network came in, which is a real shame. If he cancelled them and warped in a load of units, he could have been able to hold that off, I think.
Quite possibly, but yeah, it could have been certainly very different. But yes, he's done it again. The crafty Irishman is through.
He's through, and he's going to be playing you next, I believe.
So yes, if we pull up ye old tournament table again, as I like to call it.
Ye olde tournament table.
I know, it's only because it's ye olde shit graphics that I did as well. So it's he will go through and he'll play my bad self in the semi-final of the losers bracket. So that's it. Now we're gaining some momentum. So we could come back through and go to the final and see what we can do. So that's it. I always like the underdog story, which is why I lost my first game against you. Truth be told.
You're going to rise up and probably probably play against me again.
Ultimately, adding to your humiliation when I beat you all.
That's it. Yeah, just to rub it in our eyes. Yes. It should be an interesting game next. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing you two play against each other because obviously you two know each other very well as well. So,
well, that's it. I mean, in practice games, I normally have Chris. I normally just overwhelming him, not even just with my cheese string build, not even with that.
Yeah, too much cheese.
I only started doing that in the tournament because I needed to get through. I couldn't risk going out, so I thought against 2 more inexperienced players, I thought I'd just pull out the cheese. But because in a straight-up game, you can always get nobbled by like a rush tactic. Anyhow, normally in practice games and all that, I normally have Chris, have AlteredEgo, but yes, we shall see. Tournament plays something different altogether. Do I stick with my cheese string, or do I just try and play a straight-up game where I've had him in the past?
I expect
So,
a lot of scouting from Ego because he doesn't want to see you suddenly produce 5 racks and push out. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting metagame between you two, I think.
it's a lovely build, I tell you. It's not even mine. I can't even claim like ownership rights of it. It was a TLO, the little ones, 6 racks rush. It's a hell of a build, mind. I'll have to show you one day. It is a hell of a build.
It is very good, yeah.
Anyhow, I think that'll do us today. I will have you in the commentary booth once again at some point because I may have to get you in the booth. I might just have to chaperone as you commentate on the next game between myself and AlteredEgo.
Yeah, that's right. And well, we'll see you guys next time, I suppose.
We will do indeed. So yes, I'd like to thank my co-host Tilt for being very generous with his time and giving me commentating on 2 sets of games.
And giving you something as well. Well, hey.
Commentary booth. And I'd like to thank myself for being boss and having to upload all this shit after I've edited it all as well. So yes, thank yous all round and goodbyes all round. Goodbye.
Goodbye.